while dining on Philly cheesesteaks, a committee of analysts, geniuses, and Syracuse alumni who all of a sudden want to be producers fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all of sports. It's an honor and a privilege. It's time now for Nick's Tiers.
Indeed it is, and we have a new elimination. And this is the first time since the tiers have existed this team has ever been on the eliminated tier. So let's show it to you. The eliminated teams, that's the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Wow. That is 10 teams eliminated. Also, once once it reaches 10, we have a little sub-meeting about, is there anyone we have to embarrassingly and ashamedly uneliminate? Proud to say no. While Daryl advocated for the Rizzy bounce for New Orleans, that they could get back in it, we said no. Those 10 teams, playoff hopes, 0. They're all eliminated. The Cowboys amongst the eliminated. Now to the tiers. NFC South. I mean, we're back with the NFC South being its own tier near the bottom. One of these teams is going to get in. I hope it's Baker. I like Mike Evans coming back now. They've had some heartbreaking losses. The schedule really opens up for him. I'm worried about Kirk Cousins. Wildes, it might end up being a category 2 for you.
Yes.
Classic 2, the Kirk Cousins post-Achilles. It might be.
I told you, they've been issues since Greek mythology.
That's what you told us. Next.
How's Aaron Rodgers doing?
Shane Waldron ruins everything tier.
Okay.
First, it's the Bears. I mean, the whole poor Caleb's rookie year kind of stuck in the mud for a couple months thanks to him. And I'm watching Geno this year, even if the stats don't back it up, except he's leading the league in yards per game. I feel like, man, Geno's free from the yoke of Waldron the last couple of years. So that's the Shane Waldron ruins everything tier. Playoff contraction tier. Idea. The NFL expanded the playoffs 17 per conference. If the 7 seed is below 500, they're not in. And the 2 seed gets a bye, like it used to be. It should be there so a good team that gets hot at the end or whatever can be alive. But to make the 2 seed, if one of these, like these 2 teams are right there to make the playoffs.
Yes.
The Colts benched their quarterback. The Dolphins lost their quarterback, went a month without winning. They're very alive to make the playoffs, which might mean we don't necessarily always need 7 playoff teams each conference. Living off past performance, Niners and Bengals. Like, let's be honest and be fair here. If we had not seen these teams play years prior to this, there'd be no reason to believe either one of them's good. Like, we'd just be like, oh, the Bengals just have a horrible defense that's going to cost them their season, and the Niners are just a mediocre team with a guy. Is that a fan that's playing quarterback?
He's got muscles.
Begrudging respect. Listen, you guys know how I feel about short quarterbacks. Not a fan. Kyler, I got to say, he's playing well.
Yeah.
Post-injury, he's really playing well, recapturing what was the best of him, a little more mature. And I know what you're going to say, oh, Nick, you're also not a fan of super old rookies. That's true, but he's not the one I'm giving the begrudging respect for. It's that Broncos defense. The guys coming off the edge, that whole D-line's really good. Surtain, we've known he's awesome. Their defensive numbers are outstanding and enough to maybe throw a scare into a team in round 1 because of how dominant the defense has been if they get there. Ignore the red flags. So here's what I'm arguing for these 4 teams. They have obvious flashing red lights of concern. For the Ravens, it's the defense. For Washington, it's the second half Kingsbury slump plus Jaden not wanting to run with the ribs. For the Texans, it's the offensive line. For the Rams, it's the inconsistency of their week-to-week performance. But if you ignore all that, these are 4 of the most fun teams in football to watch. The Ravens score 40 anytime. Jaden's doing all types of fun stuff. Nico's back for the Texans. Stafford's throwing sidearm lasers to Puka Nacua. Just ignore the red flags and enjoy watching them play. Well-built, well-coached. I mean, 3 outstanding coaches. Harbaugh, LaFleur, O'Connell. You feel like, wait, where is the big hole on either of these rosters? Can't find it on any of them. It's like, you'd like the Chargers to have a few more explosive playmakers. You might like the Packers to have a little more, heft in the defensive line. The Vikings, obviously, they're dealing with Darnold, but that's because of the injury. They're just really well-built teams, really well-coached teams. Know exactly who they are. Pittsburgh and the Eagles. Pittsburgh, we're going to unleash T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward and Minka Fitzpatrick and the rest of the defense, and we are just going to find this as a one-score game late, and we're going to out-execute you and rely on Chris Boswell. And the Eagles, we are going to run the cool stuff we ran 2 years ago, which is a lot of running the football, but with an even better running back, and then let Jalen take some deep shots and let Jalen use his legs, and we're going to get back to tush pushing. They know exactly who they are, and that's why they've been so successful. Sorry, kiddo.
What I do?
Civilian ceiling.
Oh.
This is as high as it's very, very. Listen, you can win the Super Bowl, Detroit. You can, you can. I don't think you can be the favorite to win the Super Bowl when you have a great civilian, but a civilian at quarterback, when you know in the Super Bowl you're going to be playing a team with a superhero at quarterback, whether it's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Brew ends up being right about Lamar Jackson. Hell, the Chargers get hot and it's Justin Herbert. You know in that game you're going to be at a huge deficit. But every other part of your team is outstanding, and Goff is playing the best football of his career. Listen, I'm a civilian. I don't know why everyone thought it was a not. Most of us are civilians. Next, just where they want to be, and it's a shocker because they're not atop the tiers.
Wow. That's why it's a committee. He'd have him number one.
Would he?
Yeah.
I just remind America the last time the Chiefs lost, they reeled off 15 straight. They have 7 regular season games left, 3 playoff games. That would be a 5-0 start to next season's 3-time defending champion. Also, they get to be at least a bit of the hunters. Again, they'll always be the hunted, but they get to be the hunters at least for a bit, and they get to play. We haven't pulled out the bulletin board in weeks.
No.
Because nobody said a mumbling word except for Draymond Green. I should have put him on the board last. No pressure. But listen, Bills. Everybody knows I'm a Bills guy this year. We got to talk. Western New York. If you can't beat the Chiefs this year or last year, then you do start to ask, when can you? Both years you beat them in the regular season. Both years your offense was humming at a level theirs wasn't. Both years the Chiefs were dealing with massive injuries, or this year massive injuries, last year massive drops. If you go 0-2 in the postseason against them under this context,
Tough one.
So no pressure, but this is your moment, don't blow it. Greg Jennings,
Wow. It's great tiers.
That's the committee's tiers.
And a fair tiers.
They're always fair.
Fair
That's why
tiers?
we have a committee.
We
Hey,
will
he's got
see.
the Bills that won the Chiefs
We
too.
will see. Fair tiers? Come on. Civilian ceiling. I always have to be the one to do this. But Detroit, I'm going to stand up for you. Oh, my God.
Oh,
No.
Oh, my God. Lions should be number
Let's go to
one.
break. Who's encouraging you to do this?
Like, come on.
Oh my God.
Like, there's no way this team is not on top of the tiers. They have an 8-game win streak right now, best in the National Football League.
that's true.
You continue
not
to
as big a
harp
fan
on
of
the
win
idea of a
streaks as I was
civilian
a week
quarterback,
ago.
but this team, if you compare them to the 2 teams ahead of them, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, this is what it looks like.
That's pretty good.
Like points per game, whoop, they're first. Total yards, up, whoop, they're third. Look at everybody else. Passer rating, up, that's that civilian guy, you're second.
Yeah.
And you keep saying this statement, and I'm gonna let America see exactly what you say because you've said it twice today, but this is the quote that I don't think you can be considered the best team in the league with a civilian quarterback.
Did you know the tier was going to be called civilian?
I
ceiling?
didn't.
That's what
But
I thought.
this is what I had prepared because this is
Am
who
I
you
wearing
are.
the same
Like,
suit
look
I'm
at
wearing
this.
right now? This is
Different tie.
Look at this.
different tie. Yeah.
Look at this. But when you think about this guy, all he does is win and have great stats doing it. Jared Goff has been nothing but better than civilian. And you continue to act like he's not. Look at these numbers. Tell me what is civilian about these numbers.
You know what it reminds me of?
You had your turn. Second in completion percentage, 9th in passing yards per game. You want to know why? Oh, yep, this is a team that knows who they are, too, because they're going to run the ball
Yeah.
first. So we'll settle
That's fine.
for the
I'm not
9th.
worried about that.
First in yards per attempt. You see the numbers, America. I got one more stat for you.
Wow.
You might like this one. Jared Goff this season, he's doing things that other quarterbacks have done in the past, but nobody's done it twice. Wildes, until Sunday, No player had multiple games with 400 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and a perfect passer rating.
Jared Goff did.
Jared Goff has done it twice.
Who was the first game against?
Jared Goff has done it twice. Which one? The one
Which the first? Because I know he just did against Jackson.
He did it in 2018 when he was with the Rams.
No, in their careers.
Oh, in
He's
their
saying
careers.
Yeah.
No, nobody's done this
all right,
twice.
so-
And he's in America.
I don't deny
My buddy
any of
Nick
that.
is saying he's
And
civilian.
I am.
How?
Because he doesn't have any superpowers.
What do you mean? His superpower is standing behind 5 great offensive linemen in addition to perfection.
I got it.
That's kind of Batman-ish.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's not.
Is Batman a superhero?
No.
Is he considered a superhero?
Batman
was a superhero.
How dare you? Wildes.
He's a regular guy,
Hold on. Wait.
He's a
Pause.
superhero. Once
Stop.
you throw the
Everybody stop
uniform.
real quick. Wildes, I appreciate you trying to have my back. Let me handle it. Because Batman's obviously superhero.
Exactly.
Thank you.
But he's a regular guy, is all
Exactly.
I'm saying.
Right.
He gives
With
hope to
access
the regular
all those
guy.
things. Yes, he's more out there. And so here's the deal. All those numbers you showed about Goff, you know what I thought when I saw them? I was like, oh, it reminds me of last year with another civilian who was having an amazing season with a stacked team around him, Brock Purdy. And you can get to the Super Bowl. You might even be able to win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, in today's NFL, where there is more top level talent playing quarterback than any time before, it's the most important position in sports. When in your biggest game, you are going to be at a deficit at that position, you can't be the favorite. That's all. They're one of the 3 best teams. They're not the favorite. Just like the Niners weren't going to be the favorite. They're just not. Now, the NFC might not have any
Were the
superheroes.
Niners the favorite?
No, they actually
were.
It was foolish,
lost.
and they
They're just
no,
the wrong
3
line.
points in overtime. But
I said they can win. I'm not saying they can't win.
It's sound rationale.
It's correct. People don't like the word civilian, but it just
one of your
cuts through the
quarterbacks
noise.
was on that list of guys who did it. Ken O'Brien in 1986. I'm sure you know.
Ken O'Brien,
Yeah,
yes.
Bruce.
All right, look. There's a lot of things I thought were wrong with the
Really?
Steelers. Baltimore should be up with the Steelers and the Eagles, okay?
What do you think would happen if Baltimore played the Steelers?
Chicago should be on the bottom. I get it. You see, he throws the names in so he doesn't have
You
to
want
put the
Chicago
Bears at
on
the
the
bottom.
NFC South
See, he
tier?
threw that NFC South in
That
there
would be
just so the
weird.
Bears couldn't be at
That's
the Bears should be at the bottom tier.
Right.
All right, change the name.
That's true.
Put
But
the Bears in the
now
in-season tournament while
is
we're at it.
where it gets awkward. Because, Nick, you and the committee are prisoners of the moment. I thought it was a rich tapestry. And I'm not even arguing the Lions. The Lions, I'm fine with you if you want to have them number 1. Buffalo ahead of the Chiefs?
Hold on, what?
The Bills should not be ahead of the Chiefs. I have beef with the committee. The Chiefs were due to loss. How many 2 teams have gone undefeated in the 100-year history of the NFL? Or at least in the Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl era. And so the Chiefs were due for a loss. They're playing in Buffalo. Nick is right. It was the Bills Super Bowl. You could tell from the moment go and afterwards. All right? And the Chiefs still have the Chiefs still have the better defense. We know they got the better quarterback. They got the better coach. And the Chiefs have the better record. And they don't have a blowout loss. That means something. When you get shellacked, you can lose. But the Bills got pummeled and couldn't score against a defense that I've been reprimanding every single weekend.
People don't remember the Ravens blew out the Bills. Wildes, what do you?
Okay, so he's the Chiefs guy.
I know, that's why it's awkward. But
And
the
they
Chiefs,
just played.
the Chiefs
Yeah,
should
they-
be ahead of the Bills.
That's why it's awkward for me. They
No.
just played.
They
Wild.
just-
Because
they just
here's
played each other.
here's the deal, and I bet neither one of you thinks the Bills is better than the Chiefs. It's not the rank, it's not the standings. It's a tapestry. It's the rankings.
Can I chime in?
Tapestry is Mahomes Mountain, I think.
No, they're both rich tapestries.
Thank you.
Can I chime in real quick?
Because
With the
quickly, if you lose a game, the records are close. It'd be one thing if the records weren't close.
Okay.
So
I mean,
it's just awkward. I didn't even
Brew?
want to do it, but
yeah.
the
Brew, I gotta
committee
tell
was
you.
prisoners of the moment.
I agree with everything you said there. I couldn't believe I was outvoted. I mean, it was. Can I fourth wall? No, peel back the curtain, whatever I want to do.
Fourth wall is like talking directly to the audience.
Can I tell you guys what happened? It's kind of like early stage Survivor-esque. I was so adamant against the Lions that the Lions contingent in the final vote for who was going to be atop it threw their support behind Buffalo to screw me. So like it was all of a sudden final ballot instead of it had been 4, 3. We got to do it again. Then all of a sudden there's 7 Bills votes, 0 Lions votes. I'm like, what happened? And they're like, who's the civilian now, Nick? I'm like, damn, you guys outfoxed me. So Brew, I agree with everything you said. I agree. I do think the Chiefs are the best team in the league, but.
That is interesting.
Better than the Bills, for sure.
I just don't know if we're editorially consistent, you know?
What? Well, it's
a little bit confusing for the audience.
It's too unwieldy to bring the whole committee in here.
Well,
they have to explain
but you're the Bills guy, and
I know. I'm in a good spot this year.
You're the Eagles guy.
I'm the Bills guy, the Chiefs guy, and I'm an NFC free agent.
He's got like 3 picks in the NFC. Once the Rams are eliminated, it'll be somebody else.
I was the golf guy, but then I felt like you were going too hard. I'm like, nah, he's not that good.
Yeah.
In any event, I'm just going to go quickly on the Dolphins. All of a sudden, Tua, pretty good. Tua's back, and my Dolphins, who I have going to the Super Bowl, even though they're in the AFC. Since Tua's return, total drives 35. Here's the amazing stat. Scoring drives 21. So they lead the league in scoring drives. Percentage. What is it?
Yeah, percentage of drives that end in points.
Exactly. Meanwhile, they lost to Arizona. They lost to Buffalo by a total of 4 points. You would think they would be down. No. The vibes in Miami, excellent. After they beat the Rams, Tua was fired up. Tyreek was fired up, said, don't count us out. And you're like, wow, you guys have one more win than the Cowboys, who were just quitting during the game. So the vibes are good. And they basically won 3 in a row because now the Patriots go down to Miami. Guess how many times? You guys are going to blow your mind. Been playing the Dolphins since the 1960s. Guess how many times the New England Patriots, team of the century, have won a game in Miami?
16.
Wrong. 17. 17 and 42. Did he cheat off my paper?
It's a good guess. You yelled it in the conference room.
Stop cheating off my
paper. I didn't cheat off your paper. Wildes asked Troy a question and then bellows 17 times.
Just act like you don't know. Then just say I don't know. What you did is get it slightly wrong.
On purpose.
Yeah. Oh wow, Nick got a 93 on the test. Surely you didn't cheat.
That is definitely a strategy. Terrible. Slightly off.
Oh wow. Wow, really? Wow. Man, I was close.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.